Yo, what's up, guys? So today I just wanted to talk about why flow work is better than grind work and how you can replace the grind work, the grind culture with flow work. Grind work is it's gonna lead you to burnout. It's gonna lead you to overwork yourself. It's just a trap of you feel constantly busy, but you're not actually productive. So the signs that you're actually stuck in grind mode are you're constantly tired, you're burnt out, you want to give up, you don't want to do this anymore. That's the signs that you're in constant grind mode. But when you switch it to flow mode, right? When you're in a flow state, you're actually enjoying what you're doing, you're happy, and you can actually you feel accomplished at the end of the day. And sometimes, it's not always like, even when you're working hard, sometimes it's supposed to be a little bit painful. It's going to be hurting your brain a little bit. But when you're in a flow state and you're in that flow moment, in that flow mood, actually what's going to happen is you're going to get better work done. You're going to get deeper work done, and you're going to actually appreciate the work you're doing. So I'm going to tell you guys exactly on how you can get into that flow state. So number one, guys, is eliminate your distractions. So turn off your phone. You don't need your phone on when you're working. Turn your phone off or leave it on, but keep the notifications off. Every time you check your phone when you're in your flow state and you're working, you're actually interrupting your brain process. So your brain is trying to get to the flow state, but you're on your phone and you're interrupting that flow state from happening. So you're going back to the grind state, back to the grind state. Then you have to use more of your brain power to get focused. Do one thing very deeply. Just work on one single task. Don't do multiple things. You have, usually when we're on the computers and stuff, we have 30, 40 tabs open. Keep one or two tabs open. Finish that one tab, finish what you're doing, and then move on to the next tab and then finish what you're doing. Because when you're multitasking, you're switching to different things, it's going to burn you out. You're giving 10% here, 10% there, 10% there. Focus on one task, finish it off, do it as best as you can, and then move on. That one tab that you're working on, it might take you an hour to finish it off. You want to set clear goals as well. Like when you start working for that day, open up your computer, set a clear goal, set exactly what you're going to do and what you're going to accomplish for that day. Don't do 1,000 different things. Just have one clear goal, set it, and then get to work. And then what you can also do, guys, is you can have music playing in the background. So if you feel like you can, sometimes some work doesn't it's going to be hard to have music play in the background because it's going to interrupt your thinking process. But if you have some work that's a little bit more easier to do or more lighter work, you can have some music in the background that's not going to interrupt your focus, and that's going to get you in that flow state as well. That's going to have you enjoying your work a lot more. Have a nice drink on the side. It could be tea, coffee, whatever drink you enjoy. Have it on the side while you're working, because that's going to help you and that's going to motivate you to do more work as well. It's going to motivate you to send those emails. It's going to motivate you to message more clients. It's going to motivate you to write down more ideas for your products. It's going to motivate you to schedule meetings and contact clients and deal with the customer service of your business, and maybe edit your editing videos, or you're in a graphics editor, whatever you're doing. That's going to help you and that's going to motivate you to get into that flow state. When you're in that grind state and you're just trying to get balls to the wall, you're just going at it. That's gonna it's gonna it's gonna it's not gonna allow you to get to that state where you're doing deep, good work. You can do work, but you're gonna do it very sloppily because you don't like it. You're burnt out. You just want it to be over. You're looking at the time. Okay, maybe you're done work at 5 o'clock, or maybe you have somewhere to go at 5 o'clock, or maybe you have somewhere to go at 2 o'clock, and you're working from home or something like that, or you're working on your own business and you want to go to a restaurant at 3 o'clock. You just want to finish up everything you possibly can in a sloppy way, just so you can go somewhere else, because you're doing grind work, you're burnt out. But when you're doing flow work, you actually want to get deep into it. You enjoy it and you want to do your best work. It's when you're in flow work, when you pause what you're doing, you go and do the task, you go to a restaurant, whatever, and then you come back home and then you continue it. That's how you know you're in flow work, guys. So these are some tips you can do to replace that grind work with flow work. Keep your phone off, notifications off, have some music playing in the background. Work on one task at a time and set clear goals for the day on what you want to accomplish. And don't just be constantly busy, be actually productive. Even if you have to do 2 hours of work in a day, it's better than doing 8 hours of just busy stuff. Do 2 hours of productive work, then more than it's way better than 8 hours of busy stuff, because you can put as much energy as you can into those 2 hours instead of spreading it out within those eight. So try that next time you're working, and let us know in the comments if it works for you and some tips that you have for others. And I'll see you guys next time.